Simon
Hello.
Kennedy
Hello, you.
Ellis, what's happening in your life? I guess you haven't bought a house yet, a flat yet.
No updates. No updates this week for that.
Come on.
Just because I don't want it. It'll just become a little bit like, I don't know, the fucking worms in the garage or the oven updates. Like, people will go, oh, another oven update, you know. So,
I
no.
know. Oh, hang about. I'm sorry. I know we put this to bed last week, and I know that we've got like another, 2 or 3 weeks to wait until we hear outcomes. But just to say, will there be an oven?
This is a podcast in which two friends talk about the pleasures, absurdities, and imperfections of being human. I'm Simon Ellis.
And I'm Lee Miller. Welcome to Midlifing.
No, that's actually, I didn't mention this last week. I forgot. It's actually one of the things that I was surprised by. Most apartments you buy in Italy don't have kitchens.
Oh, so they come like kitchenless, and you have to
buy a kitchen.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a very exciting thing for you to do. You'll be like looking at wolves.
It's what's that?
I said looking at wolves. Now, if anybody is listening and thinking Lee doesn't know the plural of wolf is wolves.
It's a type of oven, is it?
It's a type of oven, and you wouldn't call it a wolf or wolves. You wouldn't say the plural of them because I think it's WOOLF. It's a different spelling, but it's a very, very expensive oven.
Because I've been wondering about the best domestic ovens to get.
Oh God, don't drop any money on that. They're like 20 or 30 grand. They're really expensive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm not looking at those, but maybe you could give me a few ideas a little bit further down the.
Okay, I mean, don't get me started. Otherwise, I'm going to start going. Well, Siemens are quite good if you want, but I mean, it depends. You could do
Seaman Ellis.
Seaman Ellis. That's very clever. I like that.
Yeah, Smeg.
Okay. I mean, it's never not funny, is it?
I mean, what were they thinking?
Well, they probably weren't thinking in English.
So yeah, you just have it. They basically have a couple. You have a couple of how do you say, like just holes in the wall where the water comes out and there's a bit of power. That's it, and you fill the space.
Hang about. Back up. I know we're not talking about this, but I am talking about this now.
Yeah.
They take the taps with them.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Fucking balls.
Yeah.
Holy mother of pearl.
Yeah, and you know what? They like it, of course, because you need to. I mean, I did look at two places that had. One was completely furnished, and I was like, and
Gross, yeah.
And then another one was the kitchen. Oh wait, let me think. Yeah, there was a kitchen there that you could have lived in the flat immediately, basically. And and they prefer it for obvious reasons, which is we want to make this kitchen how we want the kitchen to be.
Yeah.
But I still find it a bit weird, slightly wasteful or something like that. I don't.
Well, I suppose, I mean...
We've got to stop here.
No, I know. We've got to stop there. But I will just say this one thing. The last time I was picking up Jeff from the kennels, interesting story. Jeffrey's going to the kennels tomorrow morning.
Oh.
I might return to that. I might not. He just looked at me like, how dare you? He really doesn't care. I think I was driving from collecting him, and somebody was moving house in between the kennels and our house where I was coming back home to, and they were packing the carpets.
Oh.
They had taken the fitted carpets from the house, and I always find that to be the strangest thing, because fitted carpets, this is going to come as a shock to everybody, are fitted to the room that they were laid in. Yeah. It's why they call them, and again,
fitted.
Don't be shocked, everyone. Exactly.
Oppenheimer.
Fitted carpets.
Unbelievable.
So, why would you do that?
Yeah.
It's very odd, yeah.
No. So I'm not going to talk about it anymore because it is, it is a little bit. So, and also just save something up. But I did want to ask you. I did have something to ask you when I
love this.
Yeah, when I got back from. So I took the train back from Rome, which is, pretty much a full day. A day from Rome to Milan. Oh, almost missed a train. I got off the wrong. Oh, anyway. And then Milan to, of all places, God damn it. It's in Switzerland. It's called Zurich. and then to Paris. And then I stayed a night with a friend in Paris and then took a train to London from Paris the next morning. And the thing about when I was met at St. Pancras by a friend who's Canadian but lives in Melbourne, who I haven't seen in a long time. This person also happened to be responsible for more or less my first kind of gig as a dancer. Not quite, but very close. And we had lunch, and it was really amazing catching up, and it was just such a treat. Partly because our lives were so connected and they've diverged fantastically. Just because lives. And she asked me a question which I'm going to ask you, and the thing she asked me was, so in the last 10, 15 years, what is it that you are most proud of?
I doesn't even take a breath to think it through.
Really?
Yeah, it's the fact that I'm still married to Bob. It's I am
the last
astounded.
10 to 15 years, you mean?
Yeah, I am astounded every year that I still manage to keep this person in my life, because I think that I come up wanting on most days. And yeah,
it's more actually astounding that she's kept you in her life, really.
Yeah. That's the right way around, I think. That's the thing I'm most proud of, the fact that I have. I mean, in the last 10 to 15 years, as people know, we've lost multiple babies. Bob's lost family, parents. There's been singular. I made it sound like plural, just the one. We've been unemployed. We've been struggling to get jobs. We've done all sorts of things.
It's been
that
hard.
have been. Well, here's the thing. I don't know if it has.
Challenging? Is that different from hard?
I don't know, standing back from it, the moments. So I am in a full-time job that is a good job. Bob is in a full-time job that is a good job. I have had one of the most difficult weeks that I can remember.
Have you?
Yeah. In terms of how my tummy has felt and what things have impacted my sleep, and just that sense
anxiety, tummy anxiety, kind of where you've just been churning.
Yeah, anxiety, and then
have you been trying to buy an apartment in Italy? Unrelated.
No, but I have, and I realised over the course of this week, as a result of various conversations and things happening, that I feel, or I have felt, and I didn't know that I felt this way, but I have felt that I have been underperforming significantly since maybe June.
At work?
I feel like I have been dropping the ball left, right and centre.
Oh.
I have felt entirely unmanned. I feel, and I sort of didn't know that was happening.
Wait, what? So... Okay, keep going. Sorry, I don't even know what to ask.
So no, it's just exactly that, and it's like, and I knew that there was these things that I felt like I was failing on,
because you had just had too much on.
Just exactly that, and my anxiety has been that I have not been doing any of them.
This is how people have heart attacks. You realise that?
Yeah,
stress levels and anxiety levels are so high that. And it even becomes the air you breathe. You get used to being operating at that kind. Oh.
Yeah, so it was just like a perfect storm of things. And the weird thing is, nothing has gone wrong. Nothing has been missed. No balls have been dropped. Nobody's in trouble. It's not that kind of a thing. It's just the sort of the realization of, oh, we thought it was that, but no, it's this, and I thought it was that, but it's this, and it's just that kind of thing. And it wasn't until I sort of talked it all out, and it's just such a fucking stupid male thing, that I hadn't articulated any of my anxiety.
Do you think women don't? Do you think that doesn't happen to women? Do you think
I can't answer that because I'm not one.
But
all I know is that I haven't been sharing.
Okay,
so maybe
but
you didn't say
it's a human thing. You said it's a male thing.
I did. But I don't know if it is. I should say it's a Lee thing.
Right.
There we go. It's such a fucking stupid
I
Lee
suspect,
thing.
I would have, as a hunch, or I would have instinctively thought that men are far less likely to be able to transmit, articulate talk about those things than women, but I don't know that.
Exactly,
that's
I
just a
don't
guess.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We need evidence.
All I know is that I didn't know that it was happening at all, and it's been through little conversations with various people. Sometimes it was just sending a text message to a friend and then writing out the thing and going, "Holy fuck! I didn't know I thought that." Oh, it doesn't help that she's a Jungian analyst. So that was not exposing, because she didn't try to analyze me via text, which was very kind of her. But it was just I think it was knowing who it was going to made me think differently about not what I was saying, but what I'd said. It kind of made me sit with it as I'd sent it. Yeah, and so
wait. So hang on, you started. You said you started this by saying it was a big open bracket about having one of the hardest weeks.
Yeah, no, I
haven't.
Don't
you
worry.
Haven't lost
don't
track.
worry. I haven't lost track. It's just I'll get to the end of this has been one of the most difficult weeks that I can remember, because it has just felt so big, and it isn't. It isn't big at all. And curiously, to go back to that sense of it's been hard or it's been difficult, talking about me and Bob, there have been things that were seismic, but in the moment they weren't seismic. They were heartbreaking, they were difficult, but they weren't earth-shattering or life-altering in the moment. It was only in their accrual over time. And so I think because I would collapse at a point when Bob was able to be strong, and vice versa, that it feels like all of the stuff that we went through, and I don't know if Bob would articulate it in quite this way, because obviously it happened in her body in a way quite differently than it happened in her body, full stop. It felt like it has felt like a gift.
Oh yeah.
And I feel, and I was saying that Bob's due any second now to come back from Hong Kong. I was talking about her being in Hong Kong last week and China the week before. And she, just watching her, it's so funny because I'm not really watching her because I'm not there, but we share an iCloud account, so every photograph she takes I can see. And just watching her be in this world and navigating it and seeing the work that she's doing, and she documents everything like nobody's business, and having seen the woman she has become, and just being so utterly, and I there are no words to describe how proud I am of her. And so so what's the thing I'm most proud of in the last 15 years is the fact that I'm still with Bob.
It's very beautiful.
It's just being with her.
It's very beautiful. It's just really lovely hearing you talk that through, really, and I find it very moving. I got a bit stuck or a bit caught on that thing about, those things, the accumulation of those events became hard. And I was, the kind of difficulty or the looking back on something. But there's something you said which which really interested me or interests me. That is, you were describing it as that period as almost like a gift. In fact, maybe you used that word.
Yeah, I did. I don't think I would have been able to say it at that time, and at the time, and but the things in there, the singularity of the things that happened. So when we lost the first baby, which is, I think, when you and I had our gentle parting of the ways for a little while. That was hard, but it was also kind of like, yeah, but
Next time.
everybody knows.
Yeah, it's right.
Everybody
There's a
knows
hope.
that,
Yeah.
you know. But it's also just that sense of like, oh well, there's lots of people miscarry. You know, it's a very normal thing. And so I think that even though I was deeply hurt by you. Sorry, I overstressed that, didn't I? It made it sound like an attack.
Right.
Let me try and pull that back,
No,
because that's
that's
not what I
fine,
meant,
it's fine,
Simon.
it's fine.
What I meant was I was upset by that moment.
Sure.
But it was about us more than it was about that. If that makes sense.
Us,
You know,
meaning
it was
you and me.
You and me. It was about you and me
Yeah,
that I was
yeah, yeah.
upset
Sure,
about,
sure.
rather than obviously I was upset about the loss, but it wasn't kind of like we weren't at that point where it was catastrophic because we were 6 miscarriages in. It was one. Yeah. When you say it like that, it does sound like an awful lot, and it is, and I think that. So I think that in those moments there are things that were hard, but they weren't. That wasn't hard for me and Bob. Obviously, it was, but the kind of the resonance of it was like, whoa! I thought I had this relationship with this, and I'm putting way too much at the moment. At that moment in time, I was putting way too much weight on it because I was hurt, I was struggling, I was
Sure.
wounded. I'm not putting, I'm not trying to over-index it in history or revisit something to make you feel shitty, because I don't hold that. You said sorry, and I fully, wholeheartedly accept it and love you deeply for being able to say that, because I'm not sure that many people can. Anyway.
Yeah, although not many people would have said the first thing in the first place.
Simon.
So anyway, by the way, just because people are listening to this, you have to go back a long, many episodes, maybe within the first 20 episodes, towards the end.
It's probably in the first 10.
Yeah, it's possibly.
It's
we
really
had a listener write in and say something like, "Is there something you haven't talked
You've
about?"
never said.
Yeah, and that.
It was a good prompt.
It was a very good prompt. Yeah.
I would just like to say there is no way that you were the person who has said the worst thing about it.
Yeah, it's not that you don't really want to keep those kinds of lists, but yeah.
No, but you don't want to keep those sort of lists. But I just want to say that it's a it's a pretty low bar of people sort of stepping in it, but and that's just about being human.
Yeah. We don't need to. I mean, I'm happy to keep talking about it, but I think we've also we kicked that particular bucket.
Yeah.
No, that's not the right phrase. But anyway, we
can down the road.
They kicked that particular can. Yeah, something that's not right either. Yeah. Anyway,
no, it's not.
So, but I wanted to ask you though. Or to talk about this thing, which is the idea of it being a gift. Because it seems to me that we, human beings, that the capacity to see the darkness, the dark things, the difficult things, I even say the traumatic things, as gifts. Like, where's the line there between someone who is able to do that and someone who's not, or when something becomes so big it's not possible to view it as a gift or as something which... Do you see what I'm...
I see exactly what you're saying, but I don't know where the line is, and I don't think the line is about a particular type of person or an attitude that allows, although I think maybe there are certain types of people who have faith who are able to see that there is something to be learnt in all of those.
You mean spiritual faiths, you mean?
Spiritual faith, yeah. That might be able to sort of pivot to that because there is something bigger than themselves. I am not that person. I think we all know.
Yeah. See episode.
Everyone that I've ever mentioned that I don't believe in God.
It's only been a couple, I reckon.
So I don't know where that line is. I think for me and Bob, it's about the fact that although these things accrue, they were happening over quite a long period of time, nearly a decade, not quite, but quite a long period of time, and you sort of you get into the rhythm of loss, and you sort of understand it, and you also stop. It's one of the reasons why I really struggle when you see, okay, quite often in a Guardian sort of weekend type paper, there will be somebody telling the story of their loss of a child in utero.
Yes.
And it always ends with, and now I have a baby and everything is fine.
Yeah.
And there's something
it's
about,
basically a success story, for want of a better word.
Yeah. The growth and learning can only ever be understood through acquisition. It's a very capitalist way of understanding the world. Yeah. And I'm not, I think I probably sound very disparaging in that moment of the people who are writing that, and I really don't mean that, because I don't want to take any of their joy away from them. I think it's more about, we had to find an ending, because our ending didn't result in anything generative, and it had there been something, let's say for example that we lost 3 or 4 babies in a row, and then Bob had to have a hysterectomy, that would have been kind of a catastrophic end to that I don't know how you bounce back from that, because it's like something's been taken away from you. But this was all happening as Bob's natural fertility was gently on the way, and as she got older and she was moving into menopause, so there was a kind of sense of gentle stepping away from that as a possibility.
Yeah.
At the same time as,
Also, you're both adapting to the possibility that it wasn't going to happen. That's the just gradually in time.
Yeah, absolutely. And you keep hold of hope for as long as you can, and then you do something fucking stupid like IVF, which I really don't recommend to anybody. Although I understand that people will go through it and maybe they'll have success, but statistically not much over a certain age. Anyway, sorry. And then you're acclimatizing to it. You are, and I think the gift is the ability to have gone through that process with somebody who was as open to the journey as she was, and open to holding me in the journey as she was, and also being held.
Oh, thanks, Lee. Just really, I know we dance all over the place in this podcast. I forget, as we really do, and our people who listen know that. But and it ducks and dives from being completely wacky to things that are a little bit more, I guess, serious or earnest. So, but I think that's one of the things I enjoy about the conversations, is their unpredictability in that way. I'm not trying to make an excuse or anything like that, Pierre, but I appreciate what you're saying there about just that simple kind of sense of, I don't know, I think it's a good question to ask of ourselves. What is it that you're most proud of over the last 10 to 15 years?
I'll return to the question at some point in the future with you, because it feels like now is the wrong time to do
it'd be a
tit for
game
tat.
of tennis.
It'd be weird.
Yeah.
So,
well, your sense of pride's much better than my sense of pride.
Yeah. It's because I kept the worms alive. That's
Wait, what? I thought we weren't going to talk about that. I did come back to when I came back last week. I came back to there had been something had gone wrong, and they had littered the floor. I'm just going to call it of my bakery, but don't tell the health inspectors. Don't tell the health inspectors.
I won't.
Don't know what happened. I think they might be a bit overcrowded. Some of them were looking to escape to Italy.
I mean, they've not got long to wait.
Yeah. I don't know, pack them in an ice cream container. Get that through through customs. What?
It'll be easy. Piece of cake.
Everyone's
got worms.
I was. Should we? I did.
Nah, finish your sentence and then we'll stop.
Yeah, I just. I was watching a film recently, and as we've talked about, mostly now, and I think you do watch films with subtitles on, but often I watch them with closed captions, and it just brings me so much pleasure. But this one just said unsettling music playing.
I love that when that happens. I was watching something the other day and it said discordant noise. And I just love the idea of discordant noise.
But also the line, if you can't hear, and the line between the effect of the music and the reading of unsettling music playing is because it's. I was watching something recently about Jaws. It was about John Williams, actually, the composer, and watching Jaws with the sound tuned down. I mean, it's just not scary at all. Like, I mean, any horror film basically kind of predicated on it.
Yeah. We're full sensory beasts in the storytelling modes, aren't we?
We sure are. Unsettling music playing.